Hey, I'm Kelly. If you love cars as much as I do, you're in the right place. From drifting car days to uncovering the world's most iconic rides. Gear up and subscribe to Drive with Kelly for non-stop car fun. 13 Chinese motorcycles that are shockingly good, even versus Japan. For decades, Japanese motorcycles owned the throne. Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki. These weren't just brands, they were legends. Built on bulletproof reliability, cutting-edge engineering, and performance that earned respect worldwide. But something's shifting. Quietly, strategically, Chinese manufacturers have been sharpening their swords, crafting machines that aren't just cheap alternatives but legitimate competitors. That's exactly why we created this countdown. These 13 Chinese motorcycles aren't copycats or budget knockoffs. They're genuine contenders. They represent a revolution. The motorcycle industry isn't about to change. It has already transformed. And when you see number 1, you'll understand why Japan's dominance is no longer guaranteed. Let's get started. Number 13, QJ Motor SRV 550 ST. The QJ Motor SRV 550 ST brings serious firepower and cutting-edge technology to the cruiser segment with a 549cc liquid-cooled V-twin generating 61 horsepower at 8,500 RPM. That's a legitimate 10 to 15 more horses than competitors like the Rebel 500 or Vulcan S. And this 8-valve DOHC power plant loves to sing at high revs. But raw power is just the beginning. You're getting a full-color TFT display with Bluetooth connectivity, turn-by-turn navigation, gear position indicator, tire pressure monitoring system, fuel efficiency readouts, and a USB charging port, all as standard equipment. Most Japanese cruisers don't deliver half these features at this price bracket. Then there's the chassis technology. Inverted front forks, dual front brake discs, and radially mounted brake calipers. That's sport bike hardware on a cruiser platform. Compare that to the telescopic forks and single front rotors still common on many Japanese middleweights. At under $7,000, the SRV 550 ST isn't just well-equipped, it's redefining expectations for budget cruisers. Regarding US availability, QJ Motor has only recently begun its North American expansion through select importers this year. So, while it's not yet appearing at major dealership networks, enthusiasts can acquire one through specialized distributors or gray market channels. One Reddit user in Mexico reported seeing the SRV 550 ST priced between $7,400 and $8,400, indicating the US launch isn't far off. Japan. Consider this your wake-up call. Now, if you found the SRV 550S impressive for its displacement and pricing, just hold on because China isn't stopping at middleweights. They've also engineered a machine that came out swinging for the heavyweight retro champions. Think Z900 RS and XSR 900. Only this one punches harder, costs less, and arrives fully loaded straight from the showroom. Number 12, Brixton Cromwell 1200X. Here's one that emerged from nowhere, and it's targeting bikes like the Kawasaki Z900 RS and Yamaha XSR 900 directly. Meet the Brixton Cromwell 1200X. This machine means serious business. It's powered by a 1200cc parallel twin engine with a 270-degree crankshaft, delivering 83 horsepower and a massive 80 pound-feet of torque. All that grunt kicks in as low as 3,100 RPM. That's genuine low-end muscle. Weighing about 518 pounds wet with a nearly perfect 48-50 seconds front-rear weight distribution. Way more balanced than most retro bikes from Japan, which tend to feel nose-heavy through corners. But here's the real knockout punch. You get KYB suspension components, Nissan radial brakes, Bosch ABS and traction control systems, stainless steel exhaust, cruise control, and multiple riding modes, all as standard equipment. And the price? Just over $12,000 delivered, and that's for the fully loaded version. A similarly equipped Z900 RS will cost you $15,000 or more without a 5-year unlimited mileage warranty. As for US availability, Brixton hasn't reached major dealership networks yet, but importers are already bringing it stateside, and demand is building rapidly. So yes, you can get your hands on one in America. This isn't just a throwback, it's a statement. Before we dive into the next game changer, if you're enjoying this content, smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's coming next. Number 11, Lanson CR3. This one's compact, but it delivers way above its weight class. The Lanson CR3 might be a 165cc, but don't dismiss it as a beginner machine. This thing's engineered to compete. Under the tank, a single-cylinder 4-stroke pushing out just under 16 horsepower. Twist the throttle and it'll take you past 70 mph while delivering over 100 mpg. That's commuter efficiency with backroad excitement. But the CR3 isn't just economical, it's intelligent. You get a perimeter frame, that's sport bike grade geometry, plus telescopic forks up front, a monoshock in the rear, and disc brakes at both ends. Tubeless alloy wheels, LED lighting, digital instrumentation, all standard. And here's the clincher, it features both electric start and kickstart. Redundancy on a budget bike, absolutely. Styling-wise, it goes full Street Fighter. Sharp angles, dual-tone paint schemes, aggressive posture. It looks ready to battle at every traffic light. And for urban riders who want something agile, vocal, and economical to operate, this thing delivers. It's already gaining attention in markets like Bangladesh and Southeast Asia. Japan should be paying attention, because if this represents China's entry level, the top tier is going to be intimidating. If the lightweight naked attitude of the Lanson CR3 is too minimalist for your preferences, or you're not interested in the small displacement Street Fighter scene, but still want that same punchy performance with modern technology, don't worry. Chinese brands have that covered too. Up next, we've got a sleek V-twin that combines muscle, gadgets, and attitude in one seriously underestimated cruiser. Number 10. Vogue 900 DSX. This one's not just another generic ADV motorcycle, it's a calculated power play. The Vogue 900 DSX is packing an 895cc parallel twin, producing 94 horsepower and 64 pound-feet of torque. Yes, this engine traces its lineage to BMW's F850GS platform, but Vogue didn't simply copy it. They refined it, reworked the tuning, and gave it a completely new character. Wet weight, 465 pounds. That's lighter than the Africa Twin or the Tiger 900, with more mid-range torque and less bulk when the trail gets challenging. And it's not just the motor doing the heavy lifting. You get 8.3 inches of suspension travel up front, 8.6 inches of ground clearance, and a 21-inch front spoked wheel. This thing is engineered for legitimate off-road punishment, not just coffee shop parking lots. Now for the technology. A 7-inch full-color TFT with smartphone mirroring, radar-based blind spot detection, tire pressure monitoring, heated grips and seat, and keyless ignition. All of it comes standard. That kind of specification sheet from the Big Four, you'd be looking at $15,000 or more, but the 900 DSX is positioned to undercut them by thousands, and do it with more attitude. This isn't a knockoff, it's a warning shot. Just when you thought the Vogue 900 DSX brought the perfect balance of adventure, capability, and value, here comes a leaner, more aggressive machine that's flying under the radar, but packing serious firepower. It's not just lighter and smarter, it's got a secret weapon under the tank that'll surprise even experienced riders. Number 9. Zontes 70 3 Farad. This one's a sleeper and it strikes like a sniper. The Zontes 70 3 Farad packs a 699cc inline triple, not a twin, making 97 horsepower at 10,000 RPM and 56 pound-feet of torque. High revving, ultra smooth with a 120-degree crank and a 13:1 compression ratio. It sounds aggressive and moves like it means it. Fuel economy up to 65 mpg. That's over 270 miles per tank, better than most Japanese triples by a significant margin. But here's where it gets wild. 7-inch TFT dashboard with 3D navigation, tire pressure monitoring, keyless ignition, heated grips, adjustable windscreen, and dual dash cameras front and rear with built-in storage. Quick shifter standard. Frame, cast aluminum, lighter and stiffer than the steel chassis found on more expensive bikes. All this for under $9,000. In fact, international launch pricing lands right around $85 USD, with some importers in the US already offering it through limited dealer networks. Meaning, you can grab one stateside right now, though widespread availability is still expanding. Seriously, this isn't a budget ADV bike. It's a tech-loaded missile hiding in plain sight. This bike is designed for outfitting and outpacing Japanese middleweights like the Yamaha Tracer 7 or the Suzuki V-Strom 650. It's got the gadgets, the power, the refinement, all at a price that makes you look twice. Number 8, Benelli TRK 702X. The Benelli TRK 702X is stepping into the middleweight adventure bike arena, and it's not pulling punches. It's got a 698cc liquid-cooled parallel twin engine that cranks out 76 horsepower and 50 pound-feet of torque. The torque curve peaks strong, right at 6,250 RPM. But here's the kicker. Below $4,000 RPM, it delivers nearly 20% more torque than most Japanese rivals. That's genuine low-end grunt when you're crawling over rocks or charging up steep trails. Need clearance? You get 8.3 inches of ground clearance and a long 62.2-inch wheelbase, giving it superior off-road geometry than most competitors. Suspension, fully adjustable KYB setup with beefy 50mm inverted forks and a rear shock that actually responds the way you want. And the wheels, tubeless, wire-spoked rims standard. That's usually the $2,500 upgrade on bikes from Japan. All in at just $7,499 MSRP. But here's where it gets even more compelling. US dealers have started stocking the 2025 TRK 702X at approximately $8,499 or $8,799, depending on inventory, with some promotions dipping as close to $6,999 at select Midwest shops. That means it's not just a global player. It's available stateside now, with real numbers you can walk in and buy today. You're getting premium components, serious adventure credentials, and a torquey twin, all for less than you'd expect. This one's made to go places, literally. All right, this bike is engineered to take on Japanese middleweights with serious off-road capabilities, offering features and performance that'll make you reconsider those usual suspects. But what if I told you there's a whole different beast from China that's not just matching the competition, it's redefining what a touring bike can be? I know it sounds unbelievable, but trust me, this one's a game changer. Number 7, GWM Souo S2000 ST. This isn't a touring bike, it's a guided missile disguised as a motorcycle. The GWM Souo S2000 ST is packing a monstrous Wankel-style 8 engine. That's 8 cylinders arranged flat like a boxer engine on steroids. It pumps out a wild 175 horsepower and a tire-twisting 181 pound-feet of torque, putting it well ahead of the Honda Goldwing in raw grunt. It sits on a lightweight aluminum twin-spar frame with Hossack-style front suspension, a setup engineered for high-speed stability and surgical precision. This thing doesn't float at highway speeds. It locks in. Tech? Oh, it's loaded. Radar-guided cruise control and blind spot monitoring come standard. No Japanese tourer offers both from the factory. And it's a long hauler, too. Thanks to a massive 6.9-gallon tank that'll get you around 250 miles before needing a fill-up. From engine to electronics, this thing is rewriting what a luxury touring bike can be. Forget keeping up with the Goldwing. The S2000 ST is looking it in the mirror and pulling away. China didn't just enter the touring game. They kicked the door off its hinges. And here's the jaw dropper. This technological sledgehammer starts at around $37,000 in China, with higher trims reaching up to $39,000. It's not cheap, but when you look at what it packs, it's basically a high-speed spaceship with mirrors. As for the US, not yet. GWM showcased it at CES in Las Vegas, but as of now, the S2000 ST isn't available on American soil. No dealers, no pre-orders, just a whole lot of waiting. Which means, for now, this beast remains a distant, roaring dream behind international red tape. And if you thought Chinese bikes were all about big cruisers and adventure machines, think again. Here's a sport bike that's rewriting the rules for entry-level performance. But don't let the price fool you. This one's packing features and flair that most Japanese rivals can't touch under 10 grand. Sounds surprising? Stick with me. It gets better. Number 6. CF Moto 450 SRS. This thing was supposed to be an entry-level sport bike, but nobody told it that. The CF Moto 450 SRS is punching way above its weight class. It's powered by a 449cc liquid-cooled parallel twin with a 270-degree crankshaft, which gives it that deep V-twin style bark instead of the usual buzz. Power output: 50 horsepower at 9,500 RPM, and the whole thing weighs just 3.9 pounds. That's lighter than almost every Japanese middleweight on the market right now. The chassis setup is razor sharp, 53.9-inch wheelbase with a 24-degree rake, making it flickable and stable in the corners. Braking: a legitimate Brembo M40 caliper up front, clamping a 300 mm rotor, no cut corners there. And here's the mic drop. It comes with a quick shifter and launch control stock. You read that right. A sub $7,000 port bike with tech, usually reserved for high-end machines. No Japanese bike under $10,000 is bringing that to the table. The 450 SRS isn't just a budget bike, it's a wake-up call. Built, polished, and ready to embarrass machines that cost thousands more. This isn't a stepping stone. It's a serious weapon. If you thought affordable sport bikes were all about compromises, the CF Moto 450 SRS just flipped that idea on its head. And if you're wondering whether you can get your hands on one, yes, you can. It's already available across the US right now. Sitting pretty in showrooms with a $6,999 price tag. Exactly where it promised to be, under that magic $7,000 line, but looking and riding like something double the sticker. But what if you want something tougher, smarter, and ready to tackle the wild without paying Japanese prices? Well, there's a Chinese middleweight adventure bike that's throwing serious punches in that ring. Number 5. Cyclone RX 650 Adventure. Here's a middleweight ADV bike that's throwing haymakers at the Japanese veterans. The Cyclone RX 650 is powered by a 649cc parallel twin that kicks out 70 horsepower and 46 pound-feet of torque, more than the V-Strom 650 XT, and way more than old-school thumpers like the XR 650L. This thing comes fully loaded. Up front, you've got 7.9 inches of travel from inverted forks, plus a rear monoshock for serious off-road capability. And the tech: cruise control, off-road mode, blind spot detection, built-in navigation, even dual onboard cameras, all standard. Curb weight sits around 435 pounds with a balanced chassis and low center of gravity that keeps it steady on dirt or tarmac. It's quick, it's smart, and it's rugged. And all for a price that undercuts most Japanese options by a mile. The Cyclone RX 650 isn't just competing with Japanese ADV legends, it's straight up challenging them on power, tech, and price. As for American soil, it is not yet stocked in the US market. There's buzz from Malaysian and even Chinese launches. And Cyclones have been spotted in Asia since mid-2023, but no official US distribution or dealers as of July 2025. Number 4. Benda Napoleon 500. This isn't your typical entry-level cruiser. The Benda Napoleon 500 packs a 500cc V-twin, not a parallel twin like the Rebel, with a 72-degree angle that gives it a deep American-style rumble. Thanks to its 2x2 exhaust and crossover pipe, the sound is throaty, rich, and totally unlike the higher-pitched whine of its Japanese rivals. With a long 61-inch wheelbase, a 32-degree rake, and a super low 27.3-inch seat height, the Napoleon feels planted and easy to control, especially at low speeds. Perfect for city cruising or new riders. And here's the kicker. It comes standard with full LED lighting, billet aluminum controls, alloy wheels, and premium touches you usually only see on $10,000 plus bikes. Compared to the Honda Rebel 500 or Kawasaki Eliminator, the Napoleon 500 delivers way more style, sound, and hardware, all at a better price. In China, it sells for about $5,400. By the time it hits US shores with shipping and markups, expect to pay between $6,500 and $7,000. And yes, it's already in the US. A few boutique importers are bringing it in. Number 3, CF Moto 800 NK High-End. This one's not just a naked bike, it's a tech-loaded scalpel with attitude. The CF Moto 800 NK High-End runs a KTM-sourced 799cc parallel twin, pushing 100 horsepower and 60 pound-feet of torque, thanks to ride-by-wire, dual balance shafts, and a slipper clutch. It rides on a steel trellis frame with 20% more torsional rigidity than typical aluminum setups. And at just 410 pounds wet, it's flickable and planted through every corner. But here's where it breaks the game. A massive 10.25-inch TFT display with split-screen mode, Apple CarPlay, voice control, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and over-the-air updates. No Japanese naked bike offers anything close. And yes, cruise control and heated grips available standard for peanuts. At around $8,700, the 800 NK isn't just high-end, it's highway robbery. Number 2, QJ Motor SRK 1000 RC. This isn't just a superbike, it's a shot across the bow at Japanese heavyweights. The QJ Motor SRK 1000 RC blends sharp, low-drag bodywork with carbon fiber aero and narrow nose design. QJ claims 12% better air efficiency than traditional Japanese superbikes. Under the fairings, 1078cc inline-4, borrowed from MV Agusta Brutale 1090RR, retuned for 144 horsepower and Euro 5 compliance with no power drop via smart fuel mapping and high-flow exhaust. Up front, dual 320mm rotors with Brembo Stylema calipers, providing insane stopping power, cutting braking distances 15% compared to typical OEM systems. Wet weight, 437 pounds, even lighter with optional carbon parts. Power-to-weight ratio rivals the R1, ZX-10R, and GSX R1000. Pricing unconfirmed, but European sources suggest $14,000 to $15,000 USD at launch. It's coming to the US. QJ Motor entered American markets in 2023 via SSR Motorsports distribution, so US dealers are preparing. Number 1, Great Wall SO2000. This isn't just a bike, it's a flex. The Great Wall SO2000, also known as the SEO V8, is the world's first production motorcycle with a flat 8 engine. Yep, 8 horizontally opposed cylinders like a Subaru Boxer, but dialed up to 11. Displacement, 1999 cc. Output, acclaimed 154 horsepower and 140 pound-feet of torque. Some folks online are tossing around 200 horsepower numbers, but there's no dyno proof yet, so let's keep it real. It's also packing serious tech. 8-speed dual-clutch transmission, adaptive suspension, blind spot monitoring, lane assist, and even a 360-degree camera system straight from the factory. The Goldwing doesn't even go that far. And here's the jaw dropper. In China, this thing sells for just $3,000 to $4,000. That's not a typo. That's less than a tenth of what a fully loaded gold wing costs. Sure, it's probably not built with aerospace-grade materials, but the value is off the charts. China didn't just show up to the touring game. They walked in, dropped a flat 8 bomb, and dared the rest of the world to catch up.